Hey, Coach Mandy Green here. I want to, in this Recruiting Made Simple, talk to you about how AI note takers can make you a more efficient recruiter. Most of these conversations, these presentations that I'm putting together for you are a result of the many, many conversations I get to have with coaches throughout the week. And a lot of times on these calls, we're problem solving. And a big problem that I see coaches do that they're having is they're losing recruits after phone calls because we're not following up is one problem, but also we're not following up with specific information relevant to that recruit. Recruiting, right, is a process of elimination. They're looking for reasons to eliminate you. And I think a lot of coaches are trying to listen, we're trying to pay attention, we're trying to ask great questions while scribbling notes. And it's just too much all at the same time. And I think a lot of coaches are getting overwhelmed, they're telling me on these phone calls. And so they prefer just texting because texting is easier, but also you get a written record, right, of what's happening, with the texting chain. There's a way that you can do the same thing with now. I'm telling you, this is a Zoom call thing, not a phone call thing. But ultimately, I think you should be doing more Zoom calls anyway, because now you get face to face, but also now you can, attach an AI note taker and it's going to make your life a whole lot easier. I mean, I don't know how many of you have had a great recruiting call and 30 minutes later, you can't remember what mom said in terms of if she was visiting this month or the next month, or following up with the recruit and thinking, gosh, what did they say about the money? Or what was their number one concern? Or was it playing time? Was it distance from home? Was it majors? Was it, all of it? I really think the gap between what was said and what you remember is where you lose recruits. I think you win more recruits after a call, especially if you remember what was said. So today I want to show you how to use these AI note takers, if you're not using them already, to close a gap and give you a system to win more recruits with less effort, right? Which is always amazing when you can figure that out. Recruits don't commit from one good call. They commit because you consistently show that you understand them better than other coaches do. This is where AI note takers can be really helpful to set you like ahead of your competition who are just, again, trying to frantically take notes on these calls or are barely paying attention, right? We can't show up and prove to them that we understand them better if we're just guessing about what they said. And this is where I think one of the many reasons we lose recruits after phone calls is because we're forgetting most of the details. Our follow-up is generic, and as a result, they feel misunderstood because we're not pinpointing and getting laser focused with our follow-up, right? And again, we're trying to fix that through these things. With all the calls that you're on every year, I really truly believe you can get recruiting going smoother and faster when we are asking great questions and then asking good follow-up and listen. They'll give you gold if we listen on in terms of things like this, right? In the exact words, how they feel about the money, the distance, the major, the playing time, all the things, the factors they're using to make decisions. That is gold if we can get them to tell us. That is knowing exactly what we need to say and do to recruit them. Gold, right? The parents' objections they might have when they're going to make decisions, how they're going to be making decisions. But coaches are missing these key details because we're trying to do all the things. We're trying to listen. We're trying to, connect and build know, like, and trust. We're trying to sell the program and take notes. It's a lot to do all in one thing, and absolutely no doubt why you might be missing out on some of these key details. And that's why, again, an AI note taker can solve a lot of this for you. So we're not just following up with generic, non-specific things. This is a picture of Sybil. Those of you that have had calls with me recently have probably seen me, this is in the Zoom call as we attach these things to it. This gives us, the call time, who's talking, right, on these calls. This is the outcome. These are key things, pain points that were talked about, key, deliverables that need to be delivered after the call. You can there's full transcript to this call. this is where, I mean, it's so simple and it all is in one place. You, no matter, you have the record of the call through until you decide to not use their service anymore, right? There's tons of things that come out of this. But this is where, I mean, some of the things record and transcribe the calls immediately, right? These tools you can attach to Zoom and Teams and, as a bot to record through your phone. I mean, I think you can even probably record these through your phone, but you're getting real-time transcript of what everybody says. Okay. This smart summaries and key action items. After the call, it generates these key points, questions they still have, the next steps, action items, like I talked about. Some of these tools even auto detect tasks and push them through your task manager or CRM, right? How amazing is that? The concerns and next steps, the call history. You could search financial aid or major or, scholarship or playing time, I mean, any of the keywords that might help you, that what they're going to use to help make a decision. You can skim quickly to figure out what the parents said or what the recruit said, right? Like you can call, like search and find that kind of stuff, which is super helpful, right? When you're going to set up the next call. And again, all the integrations with the current tools that you're using, you can copy and paste this into your recruiting database, your master to-do list, right? All of these are things that allow you to do things much faster, and privacy controls. But this is where you're going to get perfect recall on every call. They record, transcribe, summarize. Again, search keywords. Mom said, strength and condition. You can go back 3 months from now and know exactly what the family said. This is going to free your brain during calls. No more scribbling notes, which is going to allow you to listen better, ask better questions, catch more buying signals. You sound more confident because you're fully present to what you're doing, right? And this is faster, sharper follow-up. After the call, click generate at the summary, again, pull 1 to 2 key phrases they used and mirror them back in your text or your email. You can follow up in minutes, not days, with highly specific messaging. And this is where what I'm all about, right? Staff and system leverage. Assistant coaches can prep in seconds. If they weren't on the first call, they can prep in seconds just by taking the notes and reviewing the call summaries. You can create a searchable call library for all staff training. You can turn this into frequently asked questions, social posts, campus visit talking points, right? There's so many things you can do. I love after a call I would have with a coach, I'd like to click on the generate AI email. And what it does is it creates a quick email that I can use just summarizing the call, thanking them for the call, and then, I could add any other key little things in it. Seconds this takes, not rambling on and type in forever. Seconds this takes for me to generate this. How helpful would that be if you could do this with all of your recruits or their parents, right? So key features that I think are important for coaches, speaker identification, who said what is helpful in the notes. Again, the summaries, objections, any action items from the call, being able to tag and organize based on the recruit or key things that they said were important to them. So now you can prioritize database, you can segment your database, you can copy and paste this link into your CRM so you have access to it all the time. But again, we want to do more with less. All these things, right? You talk, or you can listen more, and it's always working. This is going to take less brain power to try to scribble and write and listen and think of next questions, all that stuff, right? You can just focus full in on that recruit, which is going to make them feel like you care more and you're really paying attention. And then there's so many repeatable systems that I'll talk about here in a minute. And then just saving time while improving the quality. I think AI note takers, from what I found, is pure leverage. AI is doing the work for you that you shouldn't be doing so you can be focused on the work that only you can do. These things. But every call you could turn into content. Every objection now you can turn into a script. Every question becomes a message or a social media post. Stop guessing as to what you need to be doing. Frequently asked questions, pull that stuff out. And now, you've heard me talk about on other Recruiting Made Simples. Answer it really well once. Now you can pull from that, save that as a template. And now anytime that question comes up in an email, you can go to the template. It's going to save you a lot of time. And it also is helpful in training new staff to help them know exactly how to answer that question. And it's a way to make sure that you're answering the question the best way every single time. You can create social media content from this, all your follow-up emails, like I was talking about, parent objection database. Do you know how many coaches we deal with the objections or we hope it doesn't come up, but we never really come up with a strategy to overcome it? When you start getting your transcripts, now you can pull what are the number one objections that a parent has had about your school, the safety, the location, the academics, the team, the whatever. Pull that out. And now you can use AI to help generating better ways to respond. What you say and how you say it determines how quickly the recruiting process moves forward and the type of information they give you. Are we answering the stuff the best way? This stuff can really help to do that. And like I said, training material. A lot of coaches tell me it's so hard to hire new assistant coaches because you got to train them and you got to get them all this new info and all this stuff. Yep, I get it. But with an AI note taker, and now when you get all this stuff, you can pull the training material. Again, are we answering the stuff the best way? You can put everything in templates. There's a million things you can do, but train your staff faster, higher quality, up to speed, right? So much quicker. So AI note takers, so many benefits to using them. It just simplifies phone calls and I don't know, it just makes a lot of and the follow-up so much easier. But this is where I don't want you to just not have a system or steps to take after you actually get this information. I want you to use the system. The CALL is the acronym. So capture, analyze, log, leverage. This is the rhythm I want you to get into. This is a repeatable framework. You can use this to teach your assistants, your GAs, your student workers, so the work stays consistent. This is an operating system for after calls. Capture, analyze, log, and leverage. Let's dig into each one. So capture. Decide which calls get recorded. You certainly could record all of your calls, parent calls, post-visit recap calls, right? But have your tool and you set it up so the tool automatically joins, and then it's up to you, I guess, if you want to, add it or not. Transparency script is just heads up, mom and dad or recruit. I use an AI note taker on these calls so I can focus on you instead of, frantically scribbling notes. It creates a transcripts and a summary for me. Does that work for you? Right? I mean, let them know that you're recording the call. And then again, set it to automatically record and transcribe. Simple, capture, right? And the best way to do it is auto, like have it automatically already get in there so you don't have to think about it. And second thing, analyze. This takes you 5 minutes to do. You'll be shocked at how clear your follow-up becomes. Right after the call, use this AI summary with intent. Identify their 3 main drivers. What did they say they care most about? Was it majors, scholarships, playing time, distance, right? What are their 3 biggest concerns? Money, homesickness, roster depth, it's a new program, the level, the religious fit, whatever it is. What's the next step? The visit, is it application? Is it FAFSA? Is it parents hopping on a call with you? Is it sending film? Is it watching this video of what our team does for fun? Connect with admissions? What is it? You can pull that out, okay? But this is where you can train yourself and your staff to highlight sections in the transcripts tied to, again, timeline, budget, academic fit, athletic fit, parents' concerns. These tools allow you to tag and highlight inside the transcript, autocorrect items, right? There's so many things, but analyze what were the key things that you pulled from the call, and then we got to log it. I think this keeps your staff aligned and eliminates a lot of confusion. We got to log it into your recruiting system. Don't let it stay inside the app. Copy the summary into your CRM, recruiting spreadsheet, your master to-do lists for action items, whatever you're doing, your player profile notes, wherever you're going to do it. Tag and label, right? What top 20, 2026, visit priority, money concern, talk scholarships, parent, want small campus, whatever you're going to tag them as, right? And we got to add it, add some of these things to your master to-do list. But I don't know. I think your future recruiting, I mean, logging all of these things, is this work? Yep. But I think when you get into a rhythm of doing these things, I don't want your future recruiting class or you've heard me say this before, the success and the length of your career is dependent on your ability to recruit quality students, athletes. Logging into your database is always something. I know for me, I would rather poke myself in the eyeball than have to log all this stuff. But I didn't want my future recruiting classes to depend on my memory, right? And a lot of times, especially when became a mom and had kids, I had mom brain. I wasn't sleeping well and I did not remember anything, right? I want your system to depend on, I want the quality of your recruiting to depend on the system. And it's the same no matter if you're energized, you're tired, you're on the road, right? Capture the calls, we analyze the calls, we log the calls, and then we leverage, right? This is where your return on investment on using these AI tools can explode, right? And this is where you can use this content for follow-up and improving the overall message that you're sending. And this is where personalized, use the transcript to write a personalized message. You mentioned you want engineering in a close-knit team, or you told me your biggest worry is cost, or you can even create a couple standard prompts for yourself. Write a email to the parent addressing their money concerns from this call or whatever, right? I mean, I know that was very generic, but personalized. Again, parent communication, campus visit prep, staff training, once a week, pick one or two key calls that you guys had. Read the summary or some of the transcripts, excerpts from the staff. Where do we do a great job asking questions? Where do we miss a buying signal or an objection? This becomes basically free sales training for you and your staff based on your own calls, right? Again, content creation. Look at your call library and ask, what questions do recruits ask us over and over? What do parents keep misunderstanding? I think you turn those into content that you can proactively put together to send to them. For example, I'm hearing a lot of parents, right? And we can't make a decision because we got to wait for the money or we're waiting for the scholarships. So turn that into 3 things parents get wrong about scholarships, or turn them into short recruiting videos or reels, or again, frequently asked questions if you've got like a recruiting page that you put out there. These calls literally tell you what content to create, so you stop guessing, right? Here are a few. I mean, the one that we use is C.A.L.L, and I'll attach the C.A.L.L note taker thing to this so you can look at this if you want. But I use Otter all the time. I really like Fathom too. Those are, besides C.A.L.L, those are the other 2 that I use a lot. But there's so many. There's so many different ones that you can use. But I want to leave you with, besides the acronym CALL, right, where we are capturing, analyzing, logging, and leveraging each call. I want to give you an implementation plan. So the first couple days, just pick a tool and set up your account. test it on one or two calls, right? And maybe even you test it with a staff or a current athlete, right? That you're on a call with, or test it with me, right? Schedule a call with me. Day 3 or 4, use it on 3 to 5 real recruiting calls and practice C.A.L.L, right? Capture, analyze, and analyze 3 drivers, 3 concerns, 1 next step. Log it, leverage. Send a follow-up based on the summary. Okay. Day 5 to 7, review the patterns. Do a 30-minute review. What patterns do you see in the concerns that they have? How much faster was your follow-up? How much less mental stress did you feel during the calls, right? Some of that kind of stuff. But 7 days, try it over this next week and see kind of what comes from it. And then again, book a call with me and we can, sort out some things. This is where AI is not going to replace coaches, right? But coaches who use AI are going to get ahead of your competition. I believe it. Okay. These are things that are going to happen. I think if you're still relying on your memory and random notes to win recruiting battles, you're playing the game of recruiting on hard mode. AI note takers don't replace you. They multiply you. They give you better recall, better follow-up, and better training material for your staff. The coaches who build this into their system now will look 12 to 24 months from now and realize they didn't just recruit harder, they recruited smarter than everybody else. Okay. I know I threw a bunch of things at you, like I always tend to do on these recruiting made simples, but hopefully you got the gist of what AI note takers can do for you. Give it a try. Try one out. Again, I'll attach the link to C.A.L.L is the one that I use with Dan Scooter. And you guys, those of you that have had calls with me have probably, seen the AI note taker. I've had a lot of you ask for the notes after. Good job. I love it. And that's something I probably should do with all of you is send the notes from these things afterwards so you can pull some of the key stuff. But use it, give it a try, book a call with me if you want. Let me know how it goes. And if there's anything else I can do to help, please let me know.